Hello and welcome to HydraCollectables, where we let our geek flag fly. My name's Luke and I'm your host, and today we are taking a look at the Lost experience. In 2006, Season 2 of Lost was about to wrap, but in its final episode something happened that shook its fan base and took the world by storm. During the ad break, an advert played for a new airline. However, this airline simply wasn't real. That's right, this was a fake ad for Oceanic Airlines.
Oceanic Airlines.
In the air since 1979.
Oceanic Airlines.
30 years with a perfect safety record.
Oceanic Airlines.
Oceanic Airlines.
The advert encouraged viewers to visit oceanicair.com, where many Easter eggs about the show could be found. Viewers now knew that something cool was taking place, not only in the show but also outside of it, with adverts between the shows holding secret clues of importance. Now, it's important to remember that this was long before social media as we know it today, and so all of these excited and eager fans rushed to forums to discuss their findings and talk about theories. This format was genius, as it now meant that viewers would be just as eager to watch the ad breaks as they were the main show, and this would make the slots for business massively popular with sponsors. They continued to release many adverts this way, including those of a fictional company titled the Hanzo Foundation.
Since the dawn of time, man has been curious, imagining all that is possible. The Hanzo Foundation, reaching out to a better tomorrow. Discover the experience for yourself.
These adverts, instead of guiding you to a website, encouraged you to call a telephone number. Here, an automated service would list multiple options, with a couple of the recordings being interrupted by someone who is trying to warn you of the company's wrongdoings. The voice gave us a password, Breaking Strain, which was to be used on the company's website. However, at this time, there didn't seem to be anywhere to input this password. Now, I can't stress enough how fun, exhilarating and exciting this all was for the young version of myself at this time. I remember going onto the forums and talking to people all over the world trying to break down these various clues that we had found through these adverts, on these web pages, through these ultimate phone services. Little did I know it wasn't to end there, because, surprisingly, we got something that I, for one, never thought was going to happen. Fans were shocked to discover that Hugh McIntyre, the vice president of the Hanzo Foundation and its communications director, was to appear live on Jimmy Kimmel to discuss why the TV show had chosen to connect itself to the company.
From Hollywood, it's Jimmy Kimmel Live!
Also tonight, the 2-hour series finale of season finale, right? And that's, God forbid, the series finale. In a minute, we're going to talk to Hugh McIntyre from the Hanzo Foundation. Serious Lost fans know that this is a big scoop for us. Earlier tonight, millions of loyal viewers found a few pieces to fit in the puzzle that is the show Lost. But the Hanzo Foundation remains a mystery. No one knows what it is. No one knows why they're running commercials on ABC. Are they running the island there? To answer those questions, we got contact with the Hanso Foundation spokesman. He's the communications director. His name is Hugh McIntyre, and he's coming to us live now from Copenhagen and Hanso Foundation headquarters. Hello there, Mr. McIntyre. Thank you for taking time to do this.
Yes, my pleasure. Good morning.
Why is it that you're running commercials during Lost?
Well, the writers and producers of Lost have decided to attach themselves to our foundation, and actually, it was our best way that we felt to communicate with those people who have seemed to have this belief that we have something to do with Lost, to let them know that's not true.
You have nothing to do with the program itself.
No, we are a non-governmental organization. We've been established for 40-some years. We have projects all over the world. You know, it's very flattering that the Lost writers and producers have decided to attach themselves to us and use us as part of their mythology, but it's not true.
What about the Dharma Initiative? This is something that we hear about on Lost, and what is your involvement with the Dharma Initiative?
Well, the Dharma Initiative was canceled in 1987. We cut off its funding. We ended that project, yes.
So you're not involved in it?
No. It was a real project, but for some reason, as I said before, the writers of Lost have decided to attach themselves and create us as part of their mythology. It's just not true. The way they're coloring the project.
What was the project? What was the Dharma Initiative?
Well, frankly, because of proprietary interests with the technology, I can't talk about that specifically.
What is Dharma? Is that a person's name? Is it like Dharma and Greg Dharma?
I believe that was Jenna Elfman.
Yes, yeah.
We are the benefactor of a very wealthy man.
Alvar Hanso.
Yes.
Hanso.
Yes.
And where is he? He's not been seen for a few years, true?
As well as these TV ads, we fans also found adverts placed within local newspapers, warning people not to trust something known as bad twin. Bad Twin is a novel written by a man known as Gary Troop, and features many pages with references to the Hanzo Foundation, and these pages paint the company in an extremely shady light. As more fans researched, we found out that Gary was supposedly on board the Oceanic 815 plane crash and was seen being sucked into the engine in the show's pilot episode. There was a 9-part interview with Gary scattered throughout the internet, however only 7 parts have ever been found. Now, I personally think that the missing videos were completely intentional in order to keep the mystery going, and in fact that they may never have been released or even made. In these interviews, Gary talks about his concerns of the Hanzo Foundation and that they are up to something and they should not be trusted. Next, the attention was put back onto the Hanzo Foundation website, with key highlights pointing to the goal of preserving life. Enter the orangutan, Jupe.
What if 90 years was just the beginning? Life extension. It's the grand summation of all our work. Now, many wonder, is it safe, ethical? We say, meet Jupe. He's happy, healthy, and 105 years old. We've saved Jupe from the ravages of time. Now, he's helping us to save our own lives. The Hanso Life Extension Program, we're reaching out to a better tomorrow.
The site seemed pretty standard, pretty straightforward, until you got to the newsletter page, where visitors were encouraged to input a phrase, breaking strain, from the phone calls before. This then opened up a hacked version of the Hanzo Foundation website, and amongst various other things, we were introduced to DJ Dan at www.djdan.am. DJ Dan was a radio show host and conspiracy theorist who held suspicions over the Hanzo Foundation. Fans were encouraged to listen to DJ Dan's podcast, and in one show, Dan gets onto the subject of cryogenics, and he puts forward that maybe Alva Hanzo had been frozen, much like Walt Disney, in the hope of healing him from death at a later date. Alva Hanzo, as mentioned in the show, not only as the leading member of the Hanzo Foundation, but also as the benefactor to the Dharma initiative. The radio show went on, and Dan continued to attack the Hanzo Foundation many times, warning that the group should not and could not be trusted despite the public good that they seemed to do. On the 16th of June, the main website for the Hanzo Foundation had been shut down, having realised that they had been hacked. They posted a letter informing us of this on their main page and let us know that they would be back in business soon. However, with the website down, it didn't stop there, for eagle-eyed fans were able to spot within the source code a URL address for www.rachelblake.com, and this is where things really took off. Upon first viewing rachelblake.com, the site would appear as your pretty much standard travel blog run by a young girl of the same name. Everything appeared to be normal until you noticed that the extra information section of the website requires a password. This password was picked up by various fans through other means, and we got the word evident agenda, and in turn this unlocked a series of vlogs written and starring Rachel Blake as she went deeper into this mystery. We now had an antagonist, someone to follow, someone to root for, someone who was going to bring down this foundation and reveal the deep dark secrets that we had been led to believe existed. The game was on, and by this point we fans were so excited. Now it is worth noting that these vlog videos are very much a product of their time and they don't really hold up today. It's nothing against the acting, it's nothing against the script. It's just that it really is, it just hasn't aged well. So I'm not going to include too many of those within this video, but if you are interested in watching the full run of these clips, I'm going to put a link in the description below for a new channel that I have just started known as the Dharma Llama. That's right, I have a second channel here on YouTube, still part of HydraCollectables, but this one will solely focus on my excitement, my joy of the TV show Lost. And yeah, I've already loaded up all of these little videos from the Lost experience so you guys can see them. So by all means, after the video, please head on over there. As I say, link in the description. A few weeks passed as we followed Rachel on her journey to try and unearth the secrets of the Hanzo Foundation, until finally, at Comic-Con, Rachel Blake would appear live to ask questions to the Lost panel.
I have a question. Hello?
Yeah, very specific. Hi.
Have you no shame?
What?
Have you no shame?
Well, I have shame.
I have no shame.
Don't be cute. Tell us what you know about the Hanzo Foundation.
The Hanso Foundation is a philanthropic organization that we have co-opted for the purposes of loss. And we stuck it at the end of an orientation film because we thought it would be fun.
Those films are real. We deserve the truth.
No.
We came up with those films. We're writers.
You're liars! You're promoting them as some sort of force for good, but they're not.
Look, you know how Dan Brown uses Opus Dei in the Da Vinci Code? We've taken
Okay,
Foundation.
stop. Since you claim not to know, why don't I fill you in? How about the name Jupe, 105-year-old orangutan? How about a fire in Iceland? Do you know anything about... Stop that. Do you know anything about organ harvesting in Africa? How about the deaths of Hugh McIntyre and Darla Taft from the Global Welfare Consortium?
There are other people waiting to ask questions. We have no connection.
I'm sure that they want me to ask these questions.
We have no connection with the Hanso Foundation.
That's a lie. They run ads on your show. They're putting money in ABC's pockets to prove themselves as this great philanthropic organization.
Maybelline runs ads on our shows, and we're not part of the International Makeup Global Consortium.
Stop it. You're protecting them. You're protecting a very real, very dangerous organization.
Look, it's not real. It's a television show. There is no Alvar Hanso.
It is real. The Hanso Foundation is real. The Dharma Initiative is real. Thomas Werner Middleburg is real. And what he's doing in Sri Lanka right now, he's doing terrible things. That's real. Where is Alvar Hanso?
He's an actor.
He's in a window on our TV show.
Alvar Hanso is real. And I am living proof of that. And my name is Rachel Blake, and I am real. And if you want the truth, you will go to HanzoExposed.com. You have blood on your hands, you have blood on your hands, you have blood on your hands, and you disgust me!
Thanks.
You disgust me!
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. That was great.
Jorge, what did you do to piss me off?
There's some tough-looking security guards here, huh?
Wow. Okay.
Alrighty then. Wow.
Should we keep going?
Next question.
Nice.
Wow, that's not going to be easy to follow up.
Well, if you take your shirt off, it'll...
I'm interested.
Here, she definitely made the scene as she shouted out loud for fans to visit www.hanzoexposed.com before eventually being carted off by security. It was crazy. You know, this was a alternate reality game that had somehow spilt over into our reality at a time where, you know, fans were just sitting around enjoying a discussion from the lost cast and crew. Upon approaching the site, you would find a video. This video was broken down into various clips, with each clip hidden behind a code. To find the code, you had to find the glyph, and these were spread throughout everything and anything Lost related. Whether it be in the show, adverts, magazines, merchandise, these glyphs and codes were everywhere. Even one was found printed on a mug upon Jimmy Kimmel's desk on his live television show. Once all the glyphs were accounted for, fans could put all those codes into order and unlock a hidden video. And this is that very video. Enjoy.
I'm Alvar Hanso. If you're watching this film, you already know and have worked with Gerald and Karen de Groot, founders and masterminds of the Dharma Initiative. By now, you also know there are many research goals for our joint venture. What you may not know is why we have assembled the Dharma Initiative, why we have assembled the brightest minds in the world and given them unlimited funds and access. As with all you have already been told, you are bound by your honor and commitment to keep what you are about to hear a secret. In a few weeks, after your induction counseling and survival training, You and your colleagues will be shipped to a top-secret facility. The precise location of the facility is known only to myself, the de Groots, the few high-ranking members of my organization. Why all the security? All the secrecy? The answer is simple. Your research is intended to do nothing less than save the world as we know it. In 1962, only 2 years ago, the world came to the brink of nuclear war. The United States and the Soviet Union almost fulfilled the promise of mutual assured destruction, a promise they continue to foster through a destructive Cold War. After the Cuban Missile Crisis, both nations decided to find a solution. The result was the Valenzetti Equation, commissioned under the highest secrecy through the UN Security Council. The equation is the brainchild of the Italian mathematician Hanzo Valenzetti. It predicts the exact number of years and months before humanity extinguishes itself, whether through nuclear fire, chemical and biological warfare, conventional warfare, pandemic, overpopulation. His results are chilling, and attention must be paid. Valenzetti gave numerical values to the core environmental and human factors in his equation. 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, and 42. Only by manipulating the environment, by finding scientific solutions to all of our problems, will we be able to change those core factors and give humanity a chance to survive. Although the equation has been buried by those who commissioned it, panic. It has always been my belief that we ignore warnings at our own peril, and thus the Dharma initiative was born. Dharma is an acronym for Department of Heuristics and Research on Material Applications. It also stands for the one true way. And through your research, you will help humanity. We have constructed several stations on the island. Underground laboratories with the facilities you'll need to do your research with optimal expediency. All of the support you will need, including regular medicine and food drops, will be made in perpetuity. A radio transmitter has also been erected on the island, broadcasting in a frequency and encryption known only to us. The transmitter will only broadcast the core numerical values of the Valenzetti equation. When, through your research, you manage to change the numerical value of any one of these factors, when you have created through science that we will know that the one true way has been found. That is the work to which you have committed yourself. Change the core values of the Valenzetti equation, and you will change the course of destiny. The fate of the human race is in your hands. Thank you, and namaste.
We all know what happened. The Dharma initiative failed. And in spite of every effort of the Foundation, we are gripped in the tyranny of those 6 numbers. We have tried to change those values by manipulating the environment in many, many ways. We have done our level best, and yet this inscrutable equation keeps bringing us back into the numbers. So now we have to take radical action. And I just want to tell all of you that I trust you to do what is best. The villagers of Falam and Bitu Alami have allowed us to test our vaccine on them. They think they're infected with a virus carried by local macaques, and they believe we are bringing them the cure. So when you go in, you have to keep up the story. You know it by heart. Don't waver. When the deaths begin, you must comfort everyone with compassion and empathy. And the bodies of the dead must be brought to this station immediately for full genetic workup. We must make absolute certain we are hitting precise genetic targets we have engineered into the virus. The optimal mortality rate is 30%. Our operatives at the Vic Institute have verified this figure. More or less people succumb, we have failed. We need not take any more lives than is absolutely necessary. Yes?
Tom, these are people, innocent human beings, and we're just...
You knew with mathematical certainty that you could end all famine, war, and poverty. What would you do? Exactly. You'd find the best way to get it done. Precisely, surgically. without allowing for any more suffering than is absolutely necessary. It is not fair that innocents have to die so that we can perfect this virus. But I promise you, someone is going to help. Is there something reflecting in the back? Oh God! Somebody grab her!
So as you can see within this video clip, we learn from Hanzo himself what the numbers from Lost actually mean. Whether you're a die-hard fan like myself or just someone who roughly knows that the show existed, you know about the numbers, you know that there was something hidden there within that detail, and so this explains what they were. Hanzo explains that the numbers are part of a mathematical equation designed to predict the exact number of years before the extinction of the human race and thus the end of the world. Knowing this equation and thus the date for the end, the Foundation hoped to alter the numbers in the hope of prolonging existence. And what were those numbers? Well, of course, they were 4, 8, 15, 16, 23 and 42. So, what does this all mean and how is it connected to the Lost TV show? Well, the Hanzo Foundation funded the Dharma initiative, which was an idea put forward by Gerald and Karen de Groot. It was revealed that both Gerald and Hanzo knew each other from a very young age and shared similar interests when it came to that of protecting the planet and looking after the world. The Hanzo Foundation and the Dharma initiative hoped to manipulate the environment in order to alter the numbers in the equation. They found an island with peculiar properties that could help within their research and set out in their goal of altering the equation. The goal, of course, being to control and change the numbers and thus giving the human race a little more time. The clip then ends with a speaker informing a room full of people that Hanzo's plan to alter the environment had failed, but that there was another plan to be put in place. The speaker proposes a virus hidden within a vaccine that is designed to kill exactly 30% of the human population. Why would they do this? Well, to change the numbers in the equation, of course. Hanzo and the Dharma initiative went down the environmental route. They looked to change those specific numbers. However, these numbers actually account for various things, both environmental and human. And so, with that failing, they then decided to move on to the next thing, which is to try and alter the human population numbers, which then in turn could alter potentially the equation and thus give the human race more time. It's the greater good, kill a few to save the plenty. The video ends with Rachel of course being spotted and having to flee the building chased by security. However, we also know that she obviously escaped because we have the video in hand. She was able to upload it. Things got a little quiet after that until finally in August we began to see adverts for a new candy bar to be distributed within the US, the UK and Australia.
Go to ApolloCandy.com to find out where you can get your free Apollo bar.
Now what was interesting about this candy bar was its name, Apollo, which was the same candy bar as depicted within the Lost TV show and its franchise. Fans rushed to the website in order to find out where they could find these bars, and me, as well as many others, would go out in full search. Upon opening the bars, you found a link to a website, whereisalvo.com, engraved within the chocolate. Here, fans were encouraged to upload photos of themselves holding their bars of chocolate, and if enough people uploaded their picture, a final piece of the puzzle would be released. A few weeks passed and many people uploaded their pictures of the candy bars to the website until eventually the goal was reached and we had enough people in order to unlock the secret puzzle. We all received a letter from Rachel encouraging us to check out DJ Dan on the 24th of September for a live showdown. Eager fans logged on to listen to Dan's podcast, and in the last 20 minutes Rachel joined the live show. However, this was interrupted by police, informing us that the Hanzo Foundation building had been set ablaze by its current operator, Mittelwerk. Mittelwerk being the man that we saw within the hidden video, explaining to the room full of people about the plans for the virus. Rachel ended her appearance with Dan, informing audiences to visit abc.com, where a video vlog was to be posted in order to end the game. The video shows Rachel discovering Alvaro Hanzo being held prisoner within the home by Mittelwerk, and Alvaro's apology to the world for letting this man get away with such hideous acts through his company. But that's not all, for there is a twist. And what is this twist? Well, it was a little cliche, a little on the nose, a little bit too obvious for my liking, but basically her name isn't Rachel Blake, Her name is Rachel Hanzo. That's right, she is the daughter of Alfred Hanzo, and yeah, she was out looking for her dad who had gone missing. After this, Rachel seemed to just disappear, and Hanzo returned to being the head of the company with the website welcoming him back. And yeah, the game was over, the game was done, and unfortunately, despite its popularity at the time, very little actually exists out there to do with this game anymore. You know, upon doing my research for this video, all the websites are now down, they don't exist, there are various clips scattered through the internet, and like I say, I have put that over on the Dharma Llama for you guys to check out, so link in the description once again. But yeah, there are just a few little fragments scattered across, and you were either a part of this game or you weren't. And it does seem like a huge shame that this entire fan base, this entire thing that existed outside of the show, has just kind of been forgotten. You know, the show is still there, people can go and watch the show, but this game, this interactiveness that existed, is gone forever. Now, it is worth noting that Lost did indeed do other similar versions of this. In my opinion, nothing quite as good as what this one was. This one really was very engaging and forced the audience to use their mind and work things out. But they done other things along the way. Most notably, what you've probably seen in the back here, they done the Lost University, and they done this, I want to say, around season 5. So yeah, you could log on and you could basically do courses for various things that were associated with Lost. So I done a couple of courses about wildlife, most notably polar bears. There was some about the science of time travel and things like that. So yeah, it was pretty good fun. And you could send off and so once you had completed the university, once you had completed the segments, you could then send off for your certification, pencil, little badge, all various things. So that's what this is there. So yeah, they've done a few more like that, a few other similar things, but I just find it very strange that no other companies, no other TV shows have done anything like this. We almost got something similar with the Jurassic World franchise, where they done Fallen Kingdom and they done the Save the Dinosaurs. And so you could go to the Jurassic World website and it had been all malfunctioned and things were going wrong, and you got little clues to what was going to happen in the next film. So for example, we saw that the Mosasaur exhibit had been breached, and so if you were visiting the website, you knew that the Mosasaur had escaped and got out into the wild. So these little things kind of helped you along the way and gave you little extra bonus things for the upcoming movies. I really hope that they continue to do more like this, because I really do think that it could work. This was an amazing experience. I was very young at the time, but very eager, and like I say, I went out to these places and I found this stuff. You know, I picked up the book, I picked up the chocolate. There were multiple other things that you could find and source, and being a kid, I was just very lucky that I was able to go and find these things. I say a kid, I was 16, 17 years old, maybe a little bit older. I was actually working at the time in central London, hence why I was able to get to places and, you know, pick up these items. But yeah, all in all, this was an amazing experience, and I really do hope that somewhere down the line companies decide to go this route again. It really was groundbreaking. So there you have it. That is my explanation for the Lost experience. Now, I know that you guys are unfortunately now unable to experience this yourselves. However, as I mentioned multiple times within this video, I have placed a link down below to the Dharma Llama, and there you will be able to not only see character bios and theories that I have for the show Lost in the future, but also I have posted these Lost experience videos, so you can go there and check out the Oceanic advert, the Hanzo Foundation advert, the Apollo chocolate bar. You can watch all of Rachel's vlogs there. So yeah, enjoy, go down that rabbit hole, see what you think. Like I say, it hasn't aged too well, but it's there. Go check it out. So with that, I'm signing off, and until next time, I'll see you in another life. Take care.